You know how some words stick with you long after you hear them? Well, imagine this. Johnny Depp once said just 13 words, and those words completely changed how people saw him, and how they saw Captain Jack Sparrow forever. 13 simple words that peeled away the charm, the swagger, the rum jokes, and revealed something real, something raw, something deeply human. Crazy, right? If you've been following the ups and downs around Johnny Depp, you probably know it's been quite a ride. Court battles, cancelled roles, public drama, comeback rumors, the whole Hollywood circus. And yet somewhere beneath all that noise, there's a quiet truth. A truth that Johnny revealed years ago in an interview that most people barely noticed, but for those who did, those 13 words hit like a confession. A moment of honesty that shattered the mask of Jack Sparrow, the character that made him a legend. And in today's video, we're going to uncover exactly what he meant, why he said it, and how it changed everything. So grab your popcorn, because by the end of this story, you'll see Johnny and Jack in a way you never have before. Let's go back to where it all began. It's the early 2000s. Johnny Depp is already a Hollywood name. Cool, mysterious, and unpredictable. He's known for offbeat roles, for turning down blockbuster scripts that other actors would kill for, and then came Pirates of the Caribbean. No one expected much from it at first. A pirate movie? Based on a Disney theme park ride? People thought it was going to flop, but then Johnny walked onto the screen as Captain Jack Sparrow, swaying, slurring, smiling like a drunken poet who'd just stolen your wallet and your heart. And just like that, a legend was born. He wasn't just acting. He was creating something entirely new, a pirate unlike anything Hollywood had ever seen. Children loved him. Adults adored him. The critics were confused at first, but soon they couldn't look away. Behind the eyeliner and the beads and the rum jokes, there was something magnetic. Jack Sparrow wasn't just a pirate. He was freedom, chaos, a man who laughed in the face of rules and didn't care what anyone thought, and in some strange way, he became the symbol of everything Johnny Depp himself wanted to be. But fame has a way of twisting even the best stories. As the movies got bigger, so did the pressure. Johnny was suddenly everywhere. Magazines, interviews, red carpets, fan events. The world couldn't get enough of Captain Jack Sparrow, but the world also stopped seeing Johnny. Behind the scenes. Life was getting hard. The fame, the scrutiny, the endless spotlight. It all started to weigh him down. The man who once played outsiders and rebels now found himself trapped in the Hollywood machine. And while fans saw the jokes, the charm, and the confident pirate on screen, the real Johnny was quietly struggling. He once said that fame creates you and crushes you, often in the same breath, and you can feel that in every interview, every tired smile, every quiet pause he gave when people asked him about his success. Then one day, years later, during a rare sit-down interview, someone asked him what Jack Sparrow meant to him. It was an innocent question. The kind celebrities answer all the time. Oh, it was fun, I loved the costume, that kind of thing. But Johnny paused. And then he said something that caught everyone off guard. He said, "Jack became my shield, the man I could hide behind when I couldn't be me." 13 words. And suddenly, the room got quiet, because that wasn't a line rehearsed by a publicist. That was real. That was a man telling the truth. Think about that for a second. Jack became his shield. The man he could hide behind when he couldn't be himself. It's heartbreaking, isn't it? Here's a guy who made millions laugh, who brought joy to people all over the world, and yet behind that laughter he was hiding, and honestly, who can't relate to that? We all wear masks, don't we? Maybe not pirate hats and eyeliner, but we all have versions of ourselves we show the world. The confident version, the happy version, the everything's fine version. Sometimes we hide behind our jobs, our humor, our social media posts, anything that helps us feel safe. Johnny just happened to do it on a much bigger stage. For him, Jack Sparrow wasn't just a character. He was armor, a way to laugh when things hurt, a way to feel alive when the world felt too heavy. And what makes that confession even more powerful is how it changes the way you see the movies. Watch Pirates of the Caribbean 5, for example. His movements are slower. His voice sounds a little heavier. His eyes, they carry something different. It's like the mask is still there, but barely. You can feel the man behind it trying to peek through. Acting coaches have even analyzed this. They say that after that confession, Depp's performance subtly changed. The looseness, the sparkle, it's still there, but there's also a deeper sadness, a sense of reflection, as if Jack Sparrow wasn't just being played anymore, he was being lived. One industry insider once said something that perfectly sums it up. Jack Sparrow stopped being a performance. He became therapy, and honestly, it makes total sense. Think about it. For years, Johnny has faced waves of judgment, headlines, and endless speculation. Playing Jack might have been his escape. The one place where he could be silly, spontaneous, and free from judgment. And here's a detail most people don't know. Johnny actually kept the Sparrow costume even after filming wrapped. Not as a trophy, but because he still uses it. He's been known to visit children's hospitals dressed as Captain Jack Sparrow. Not for the cameras, not for publicity, just to make sick kids smile. A friend of his once said that's when Johnny feels most himself. And when you think about it like that, it hits different. The world thought Jack Sparrow was a mask, but maybe, for Johnny, it was the one time he didn't need a mask at all. Maybe Jack wasn't hiding him. Maybe Jack was freeing him. It's poetic, isn't it? The same character that people thought was fake turned out to be his most honest expression, and that's what makes those 13 words so haunting. Jack became my shield. The man I could hide behind when I couldn't be me. It's a confession that peels away the glamour, the celebrity image, the headlines. It reminds us that behind every big smile and every confident performance, there's a person, one who feels pain, fear, and loneliness, just like anyone else. And it also raises a question. When the mask becomes your shield, can you ever really take it off again? There's been talk lately about whether Johnny might return as Jack Sparrow. Fans have been begging Disney to bring him back. Petitions have been signed. Hashtags have trended, but the real question might not be whether he can return. It's whether he wants to, because maybe, just maybe, for Johnny. Saying goodbye to Jack isn't just saying goodbye to a role, it's saying goodbye to a part of himself, a part that's kept him safe. Rumor has it that in an upcoming interview, Johnny might finally address that. Will he hang up the hat for good? Or will Jack Sparrow always be the one place he truly feels free? Time will tell, but one thing's for sure. That confession changed how people see him. It made fans realize that beneath the eccentric charm and the pirate persona is a man who's been through it all, and still shows up with a smile. And honestly, that's what makes Johnny Depp so unforgettable. He doesn't just act, he feels. He pours his truth into his characters, even when it hurts, and that's why people connect with him so deeply. You can't fake that kind of vulnerability. It's why, no matter what the tabloids say, people still cheer for him. Because when you strip away the fame, the headlines, the chaos, you see someone who just wants to express himself. And maybe, deep down, that's what Jack Sparrow really was. A beautiful, messy, chaotic reflection of Johnny's soul. And you know what's kind of amazing? Even after all the controversy, all the ups and downs, Johnny still finds ways to bring that magic to others. Every time he shows up dressed as Jack Sparrow for kids who are sick or scared, it's like he's saying, hey, it's okay. You can laugh. You can be weird. You can be yourself. It's such a powerful thing to do, to turn pain into joy for someone else. And maybe that's what keeps him going. Because for Johnny, Jack isn't just a role that made him famous. Jack is a reminder that even when life feels dark, there's always room to laugh, to dream and to play. Now, if you look closely, you'll notice something truly beautiful in the way Johnny talks about Jack Sparrow nowadays. There's no bitterness in his voice anymore. No frustration, no sense of loss or regret. Just warmth. That kind of gentle, nostalgic warmth that you hear when someone talks about an old friend who changed their life. You can tell that Jack isn't just a movie role to him. He's a living memory, a part of his spirit. Almost like a piece of his soul stayed behind in that pirate hat, forever smiling back at him. When he speaks about Jack in interviews now, there's a softness in his tone that wasn't there before. It's like he's looking back with gratitude. He doesn't talk about the fame or the money or the awards. He talks about the laughter on set, the creative chaos, the freedom of getting to play someone so wild, so unpredictable, and so unapologetically himself. You can almost see the sparkle in his eyes when he remembers how people reacted the first time they saw Jack stumble across the screen. Half genius, half lunatic, but all heart. That reaction, that joy from the audience, still means something to him. And honestly, can you blame him? When an actor pours so much of themselves into a role, their quirks, their instincts, their emotions, that character becomes more than just fiction. It becomes a reflection. Jack Sparrow isn't just a pirate Johnny created. He's a mirror. He reflects all the pieces of Johnny that were playful, mischievous, poetic, and misunderstood. It's like Jack allowed Johnny to show the world who he really was. Not the Hollywood version, not the magazine cover, but the artist underneath it all. That's why when Johnny says Jack Sparrow is a part of him forever, you can feel the honesty in it. He's not exaggerating. He means it. Because maybe you don't just take off a character like that. You might leave the set, hang up the costume, and move on to other projects. But something about that role lingers. It settles deep inside you. It becomes part of your identity, whether you like it or not. The lines between the actor and the character blur, and before you know it, you're carrying a bit of that world with you wherever you go. For Johnny, Jack became a kind of compass, a reminder of what it feels like to be truly free, to not care what others think, to live life boldly, laughing at the rules instead of following them. Maybe that's why it's so hard for him to let go, because Jack represents the part of him that's fearless, the dreamer, the wanderer, the man who refuses to fit into anyone else's idea of who he should be. And in a world that's constantly trying to define and confine you, holding on to that freedom is priceless. It's also what makes storytelling so magical. The best characters, the ones that stay with us long after the movie ends, aren't the ones that were designed to sell tickets. They're the ones that came from a place of truth. They weren't invented. They were discovered little by little as the actor brought their own heart into the role. You can't fake that. You can't script that kind of authenticity. It's something you feel. That's what happened with Jack Sparrow. Johnny didn't just act him, he discovered him. Every strange movement, every slurred word, every sideways glance came from a real, organic place. It wasn't planned in a studio meeting or written by a team of writers. It was Johnny experimenting, exploring, finding the soul of this bizarre pirate in real time. And in doing that, he found a part of himself too. And maybe that's why Jack Sparrow has become timeless. Because he's not just a Disney character, he's a human truth wearing pirate boots. He's the voice of everyone who's ever felt misunderstood but laughed anyway. Everyone who's ever failed and still kept dancing. Everyone who's ever wanted to escape the rules and just live. Through Jack, Johnny showed the world that chaos and kindness can exist together. That humor can hide heartbreak and that even pirates can have deep, complicated souls. So when Johnny talks about Jack now, it's not as an actor recalling a job he once had. It's as a man remembering a version of himself that helped him survive, that helped him express, that helped him heal. He's not looking back at a costume. He's looking back at a friend. And maybe that's the greatest compliment an actor can ever give a character, to love them not as a creation, but as a companion. A reminder that sometimes the roles we play end up showing us who we really are. Johnny found freedom in Jack Sparrow. And through that, he gave the world a character we'll never forget. So now, let me ask you something. Do you think Jack Sparrow was Johnny Depp's greatest performance? Or was he Johnny's greatest escape? Let me know what you think down in the comments. I really want to hear your thoughts. And if this story made you see Johnny a little differently, if it made you appreciate the man behind the pirate, then go ahead and hit that like button. It really helps more people find stories like this one. Also, if you're into exploring how fame changes people, I've got another video you'll love. It's about Jim Carrey and the one interview that made him walk away from Hollywood for good. It's wild, emotional, and surprisingly connected to this story, so don't miss that one next. And hey, if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe and tap that bell icon, because there's a lot more coming your way. We've got stories that go behind the headlines, past the rumors and into the real hearts of the stars we think we know. And before we go, Just remember this. Not all treasure is silver and gold, mate. Sometimes it's the truth behind the mask. End screen narration, calm music playing. Thanks for watching. You've been amazing. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and never be afraid to be yourself. Because sometimes, even pirates have hearts.